All right, good morning, e-learners. The class just took a quiz. I will have your quiz in the email tonight. You'll see the link on there. Make sure you take your quiz. You have 10 minutes to take your quiz using that one link. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we just went over homework. There is the calendar. What's our next important event? Next Wednesday. We will have a full day of chapter review. And as I said more than once, I literally on Tuesday will hand you a copy of the test. On Tuesday, I will hand you a copy of the test. And the only difference between Tuesday and Wednesday is I change the numbers. If the first one says 2 plus 5, the one on the test might be 3 plus 6, right? But the first one is an addition problem, first one on the test. Now, if it's like a word problem or something like that, you know, I'm not going to show you what the word problem looks like. But other than word problems, there shouldn't be any word problems on this test. Other than word problems, it's a duplicate. So some kids, right, when they make their resource card, all they do is take the practice test and they rewrite the practice test on their sheet of paper. Because the question is going to be just like that. Now, you'll tell. I mean, like if you took the quiz, you're like, there's nothing on this quiz I need to worry about. Well, then, hey, there's nothing you need to worry about all the way up to section 1.4. You're already mastered it, right? We'll see what happens 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7, whether you need to put things on your resource card. But like I said, you will have a copy of the test to look at. So there should be no one that walks into class that does their job, right? That means you study. There should be no one that walks into class and says, I didn't know what was going to be on the test. Where did this come from? I didn't study for this, right? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to be on the test. All right, copy down your homework for today. You finish, and then we'll catch up. Two through 38 evens. All right, this is generally the time where I start asking kids, and some of them are going to be embarrassed and won't want to say in public, hey, anybody spending more than an hour doing their math homework? All right. You're spending more than an hour doing your math homework, right? You need to start picking and choosing. I don't want you to do more than an hour's worth of math homework. So if I assign you this many, and you're doing one that looks exactly like the previous one, maybe you're good to go with one practice one. Everyone else can get this done in 10 or 15, 20 minutes, do them all. But if you're spending more than an hour doing your homework, one, I'd like to start seeing you during student advisement to ask me questions. And maybe I'll just say, hey, why don't you do this for homework tonight instead? You have a more realistic goal. But no one should be taking more than an hour doing homework. I'm not saying that it didn't take you an hour. I also would ask you to take a look at what does your environment look like when you do your homework. You got, 12 brothers and sisters, I'm sorry, right? But it's probably a kind of noisy environment to live in, right? If you are the only child of your family and it's a perfectly quiet room and you're taking an hour, yeah, that's probably an issue, right? Me, like last night, I had to make videos and send out emails and I had to eat supper. And there was a school video on YouTube I wanted to watch, and it took me 2 hours to get all my work done at home. I know why it took me 2 hours, because I was distracted, right? But if you're not distracted, you shouldn't spend more than an hour doing that. Because you got your other subjects you have to do as well, too. Cool. All right, we good to go? Here we go. What are we learning today? We're learning something called order of operations. You should have had this class before. This should not be a new class. What's the word when we all say order of operations? Anybody know? That's why I know you've had this class before. So this is straight up review. Now, if this is brand new to you, okay, all right. I'll go slow enough that you'll get this. And I'll show you why we have to use this thing called order of operations. But for everyone else, some of you may already know how to do this without me teaching you this. Let's see. So the objective is I'm going to teach you this thing called order of operation. There's this weird word, PEMDAS, whatever you want to pronounce it. Think about this, okay? We talked about properties, right? We talked about the commutative property. It says if you have addition or multiplication, not and, you can do the math in any order. 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2. That's a commutative property. So if I don't want to add 2 plus 4, I want to add 4 plus 8, I am allowed to. I get the same answer. 4 plus 8 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14. Or I can go left to right. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 8 is 14. Or I can go right to left. You get the idea? This also works with multiplication. We have the associative property, which says that I can associate any two numbers I want if there's only addition or there's only multiplication. So if I don't want to associate 2 plus 4, I can certainly associate 4 plus 8. Those are the two properties. What's the big question here? Division, I haven't talked about. I haven't talked about subtraction, and I also haven't talked about what happens if you have addition and multiplication. What do? Right? That's what today's class is about. This was previous, right? All I gave you is addition or multiplication. What happens if I give you both? You've got to have some way of doing that math. So notice there's no commutative or associative property of subtraction or division. We also don't have a property that combines addition and multiplication. Turns out, right, that there's a way of handling this, and it's called PEMDAS. Now, is anyone like, I've never heard that word, and you're thinking like this little girl? I thought you said you knew this. No? Oh, that was her. Okay. No, you're sitting next to each other. All right, so for you, I want you to take a look. Do you agree that both of these are exactly the same problem? Okay. Anyone else? They've never done PEMDAS before? All right, so one person is brave. So both of these are the same problem, yes? Let's do the math in whatever order we want to do it in, okay? So the one on the left, I want you to go direct, just go left to right. And the one on the right, this one right here, it's the same problem. I want you to do the multiplication first. All right, you're on. Let's do this one from left to right. What's the first thing you got to do?
2 plus 3.
What is 2 plus 3?
6.
What is 2 plus 3?
5. Oh my gosh, I'm not thinking.
That's,
5.
take a deep breath. You're right. The mouse is probably getting in the way. 5, right? Okay, so 2 plus 3 is 5. Now, many teachers teach order of operations, different methods. I kind of know where this is going to, plus I usually teach higher grades. Some teachers will teach, I don't know, some people call it the pizza method. You draw these two little lines that show you what two numbers you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Okay, that method works. It's fine. I'm not going to say you can't do that. I don't like that method because where we're going, by the time you get to Algebra 1, it's way too messy to do that. Especially when the expression is this long, and you got these huge honking little lines. Right? What I do is the cross-through method. So she just said she's going from left to right. She's doing 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, right?
Yeah.
What did you just add? I cross it out. Now, whatever's not crossed out, I drop straight down. What's not crossed out?
4.
Yeah, but you left off. So, you see what I did? Have you guys had a teacher that said, let's do it this way? They go like this.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I just said we're going to eventually, not this year, get to expressions that are this long, and those lines just start getting in the way. They're just too long. So I like the cross-through method. You can certainly do whatever that method. Some people call it the pizza method because it looks like a slice of pizza. All right, back to where we left off. We drop that down. Now we're still going left to right. Keep going, left to right. What do you do now?
4 times
Read it correctly.
5 times 4.
Which is?
20.
Okay, cross out what you just did. You see what I did? Drop down what you didn't cross out.
Plus 5.
So the answer is, she did perfect math. Okay? You did well after the first little tiny mistake. Okay, let's do the multiplication first. You're still on. Do the multiplication first. 3 times 4 is 12.
3 times 4 is 12.
So I cross out 3 times 4, drop down everything that you didn't cross out.
And plus 5.
Okay? See what I did? Okay? 2 plus 12.
14.
Okay, cross out what you just did. Drop down what's left. Keep talking. So therefore the answer is, does anybody see a problem here? What's the problem?
That way gets you different.
Did we do bad math either time?
No.
Well, after we fixed ourselves. Did we do bad math? The answer is no. Yet we got two completely different answers. You see the problem here? That's what today's class gets rid of. If you don't agree how to do the math, you can do good math and get bad answers. Oh, by the way, who knows which one is right? Or is either one right? Which one's right, Ace?
19.
You agree?
Yes.
All right, he is right. 19 is the correct answer. Why? Because we've agreed as math people that we're going to do math in a specific order. And luckily for you, we have a handy dandy word that tells us the order to do math. That word is? All right. So big problem. We're going to solve it with this thing called order of operation, and the fancy word there is PEMDAS. So write that down, box 1. Order of operations. Somebody read that for me while I'm sweating here. I'm sorry. You'll be freezing in 4 minutes.
Woo!
Read.
Rules that state the sequence of math operations. What to do first, second, and third.
Sequence is a fancy word for
Order.
order. Rules that state the sequence of math operations. What do you do first? What do you do second, third, so forth and so on. This year, you're probably not going to do more than 3, maybe 4 things. By the time you get to Algebra 1, you could be doing 6 things. You have to follow order of operations. Yeah.
What's GEMDAS?
Okay, so I changed it this morning. So next year, I changed PEMDAS to the word GEMDAS because there's other things that act like parentheses that aren't parentheses. So I apologize. On your sheet, it says GEMDAS. This summer, I kind of thought this through. The book only talks about PEMDAS. I'm a big GEMDAS person. G stands for grouping symbols. There's lots of things that act like parentheses that aren't parentheses, and I'll talk about them next year. So clearly I've forgotten to change my handouts, but I did change my slides. So don't get hung up. GEMDAS is the same as PEMDAS. This year you will only see one of the groupings, or 2 of the grouping symbols. All right, order of operations, box 2A, box 2A. In big words, just write PEMDAS once horizontally. And then we will never write it again horizontally. We'll write it vertically. We gotta show what each one of those letters. Do you know what PEMDAS is? What type of word it is?
I know.
It's in the English language we would call PEMDAS A or N. No, not initials, but close. That's the right idea.
An abbreviation.
It's not an abbreviation. No. Starts with the letter A. It's called A. It's like the word NASA. Yeah.
Acronym?
It's an acronym. Good job. Okay, so write in box 2B this order. The P's by itself, the E's by itself, but the M and the D are together, and so is the A and the S. Yes.
I know.
All right, I'll let you do a couple of them.
Yes, I know.
All right, once you have those written vertically, we're going to write what each letter stands for. The first letter stands for? Who can spell parentheses? That's a hard one. Go.
P-E-R.
No. All right, here's how you spell it. You don't go there.
Oh my
This is a
God.
math class. We're not going to do a spelling class. Plus, I'm a horrible speller too. I always complain when other teachers during teacher meetings, they always say, I'm bad at math. And I'm like, well, you teach math. You know, how could you be bad at math? And then I do exactly the same thing, and I say I'm bad at spelling. I wish I could go back in time and be a better student and learn spelling better. But even, you know, I'm 55, and I mean, I still, at times, I got to make sure I spell things correctly. Yes?
You're 50.
What? Okay. What does the E stand for?
Exponents.
Write that down, exponents. We will see exponents a while from now. We will not have to do exponents in PEMDAS this year, but next year we will.
I don't even know if
All right, I will bear my soul to you. Even though I have a math degree and I was always good at math, I never figured this out until high school, which is probably why I got it all wrong in 7th, 8th, and into 9th grade. Yes, it does say the letter MD. You do not do all the multiplication first and then the division. Are you listening to me? You don't do all the multiplication first and then division. Guess what you do? Go.
We go from left to right.
It doesn't matter which one comes first. You just do all the multiplication and division from left to right. Make sure you write that down. Pun intended. Except that's not a pun because it's not spelled the same way. Is that homophone or homonym? Boy, we really are turning this into an English class, aren't we?
If we already know that, do we have to write it down?
Yeah, I do want you to write it down once. Just once. Like I said, I certainly was into high school, and it probably was sophomore, junior year when I finally figured out, wait a minute. You don't do the multiplication first and then the division. You just go left to right. Lastly, the A and the S stand for?
Addition and subtraction.
Same thing, left to right. If you don't choose to go left to right, you will get this wrong, except that it's just addition. Because remember, addition is commutative. You can go in any order. But we won't see that today because we're going to have a combination of add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So you will have to go left to right today when you get it down to addition and subtraction. So that's what PEMDAS stands for, and that's how you use it. Now, what letter comes first? Remember, order of operations states the order that you do the math. So if we see any parentheses, I don't care if there's addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, we're going to do what's inside the parentheses first. If there's ever any exponents, you're not going to see that today. You do that second. Then you do just the multiplication and division from left to right. Ignore all the addition, subtraction. And then lastly, you do all the addition, subtraction from left to right. That's the order that you do the math. And that will keep us from making that mistake where we got 24 and 19. Remember, the second one, we actually did the multiplication first. And then we did the addition, subtraction from left to right. And that's why Ace was right when he said the answer was 19. We ready? All right. So the P stands for parentheses. In box 3, let's just, you don't have to write the word parentheses. Let's write what it would look like. Write this one down. This is what parentheses look like. If you have parentheses, you have what's called an open parentheses and a closed parentheses. Okay? PEMDAS says you do what's inside first. So what do we do first on this one? You got to do 2 plus 3. Even though this 3 plus 4 is sitting right here, and I could do that really easy. 3 plus 4 is 7. No, you do what's inside the parentheses first. Right? Here's a more complicated one.
Oh.
Notice how many sets of parentheses do we have? How many sets of parentheses do we have? 2. So which one do you do first? The one on the left or one on the right? Or would it make no difference? It would make no difference. We don't have to do these left or right. You can. All right, so if I did 4 plus 1, I would get, and 2 plus 3, I would get, and 5 plus 5 is 10. Okay? Notice if I did something silly like 3 plus 4, I would get 7. All right, do what's inside the parentheses. That's a poor example because there's nothing there but addition. Remember, addition is commutative and associative. We actually could do this one in any order. But as soon as I make this, and I should do it for next year, if I made that plus or minus, it will mess everything up if you don't use order of operation. All right, this is probably new for some of you. Have you ever seen those dolls, and they're called Russian nesting dolls?
Yeah.
Babushkas, right? I don't know if that's right. I think babushka means grandma or something like that. Is it the hat? Okay. If you've never seen this, there's this big doll, and you open it up, and there's a smaller doll. And you open it up, and there's another doll, another doll, no. Right? Those are dolls that are nested within each other. This is called nested parentheses. We still have 1, 2. We still have 1, 2 sets of parentheses. Which one are we going to do first? The inner ones or the outer ones? Go ahead. We always do the inner ones first. Right? Those are called nested parentheses. You will hate them in Algebra 1 because we will have 3 and 4 sets of parentheses all inside of each other. And you have to figure out, well, which one is the innermost one? And then it gets messy in algebra 1. Yeah.
For the very first problem, you could well, technically you're supposed to do the 2 plus 3 plus 4.
Do you remember, I said it's a poor example because I only gave you addition here, and addition is commutative and social.
You can do it either way because 3 plus 4 will be
Remember what I just said. If it's just addition, it's commutative and associative. So I should have put some subtraction or division there. Maybe I'll do that for next year. All right, there is a third type of parentheses. So if we don't call them parentheses, we call them brackets. They act exactly like parentheses. When you have nested parentheses, and there's lots of them, sometimes it's visually hard to see, wait, where are the parentheses? So what math people do is the outermost set of parentheses, they make them into these things called brackets. You see what I did there? It's the same problem. Now it's kind of visually easier to see the innermost set of parentheses. So these are, honest to God, these are parentheses, but we call them brackets.
Whoa.
Okay? Which one are you going to do first?
Parentheses.
The inner ones, same thing. We okay? All right, so we're done with the P, right? Let's do some that involve parentheses. Here we go. Box 4, do this with me, please. So now the order is absolutely going to make a difference. There's not just addition here.
Oh, that one.
All right, I got parentheses and I got division. Which one do I do first? Let's do the parentheses. All right, 14 and 77. Let's see, 10 plus 77 is, plus another 4 would give me 91. So you're going to do what's in blue here first, right? 14 and 77 is 91. You're going to cross out that, drop down what's left. If you want to do this, you can. There's nothing wrong there. 71 divided by 7 is?
13.
Okay, 13. And you're done.
Boom.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
How many sets of parentheses do I have?
2.
2, so they're nested. Which one do I do first?
4 times 5.
I'm just going to point out, if you did 3 plus 4, you get 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Watch what happens if you do it correctly. 4 times 5 is 20. So I cross this out, right? 20. 3 plus 20 is not, what, 60. Right? 3 plus 20 is 23. So if you had done 3 plus 4 and got, 35. 3 plus 4 and you got 7, and 7 times 5 is 35. You don't get 35 when you do it right. Okay? 3 plus 20 is 23. So I cross that out, right? 23 times 10 is, go ahead. 230. Is that what you got at the very start? Good job. Who's lost with parentheses? The P in PEMDAS. Got to remember to say PEMDAS now. Yes.
Okay, so with the brackets, the outer brackets, did you use them there?
Yeah, because remember, all I did was this part. Those I didn't do anything with the 3, and they're still inside the brackets. Now, some people, since they know that brackets are just like parentheses on this step, they make them rounded because it's quicker than to make nice, neat brackets. You could do that as well, too. All right. Feel confident? All right. Here are the butt kickers. All right. These are the ones that there's just a lot of stuff going on. All right. This one is not too bad, but this is the one. Usually the ones with no parentheses is where I see the most mistakes. Let's do the easier one first. Why is this a butt kicker? Because the numbers are large. All right, what am I supposed to do first here? Subtraction or division? Okay, let's do division. What's 24 divided by 3? Okay, so I'm going to do 24 divided by 3. You said the answer was 8. Cross that out and then drop down to 72 and the minus symbol. 72 minus 8 is? 9. I think you were thinking division. That's your first mistake, Case, today. It's 64. Okay? Look how much stuff is here. Generally, what I see is the kid gets so excited that they just immediately start going left or right. I mean, they just do left or right because they know eventually you go left or right. And they say, oh, 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 minus 2 is, or 11 minus 9 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Oh, wait, I got a weird answer. I'll just say this. In course 1, it's going to be a while before we get weird answers. Math teachers like 1 or 2 to be an answer. Let's see what we get here. So we got addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. What do we do first?
Multiplication.
So multiplication or division from left to right. So as I go from left to right, what's the first multiplication or division that I get to? 9 times 2. What is 9 times 2?
18.
So we're going to do 9 times 2. It is blue. Right? Cross it out. This is where you'll typically make your mistake. And then drop everything straight down. See what I did?
What?
So this takes a while because you got to rewrite things. Really easy to forget a minus sign.
And then we do the division.
Sometimes division symbols turn into minus sign because you're sloppy, right? Now we still have to find if there's any more division or multiplication left. Are there any multiplication or division left?
Yes. 18 divided by 3 is 6.
18 divided by 3 is? So I'm going to write 6 and drop everything straight down. We okay? Have I lost anybody? Now we have only addition, subtraction. How do we do them? Left to right. Your last step will always go left to right. 8 plus 3 minus 6.
5.
All right, some people would want to do both those steps at once. Some people would have to do it one step at a time like I'm doing. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. Got it? They don't get any more challenging than that one right there for today. Next year, a bit more challenging, but not this year. That's as challenging as it will get. All right, box 6. Let's do this real quick. We got the distributive property if we wanted to. Anybody want to use the distributive property? Heck no. Why would you want to use the distributive property unless I force you to? Didn't we show yesterday it would be easier to do 1 plus 11? Yeah. But we could. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 11 is? Plus 12 is? 144. All right, let's see. Now let's do it the other way. 1 plus 11 is?
12.
And 12 times 12 is?
144.
I'm going to do it the second way. You guys can have your distributive property. Until I'm forced to use the distributive property, I'm not going to do it. It's just too much work. Plus the numbers are bigger. Once again, inside first. 66 minus 10.
66.
5, 6, 56.
Oh.
That would be 8.
That would be
8.
All right. You guys are killing it. All right. So knowing your math facts is critical. If you don't have your math facts and you do not have a multiplication table in front of you, you're wrong. Get a multiplication or ask me to give you a multiplication table. Make sure, because this year, I'm not teaching you how to multiply or divide, at least not these type of numbers. I will teach you how to do it with some other things, but I'm teaching you how to do order of operation. You're supposed to walk into the class knowing how to multiply and divide. All right, all by yourself, do box 7. All by yourself, do, and no, I will not sing the song. Anybody know the song?
What's that?
All by myself?
Well, there's a
One person does.
Oh, I know that.
It's the saddest song
Yeah.
ever written.
No. The first time I heard it was in.
The whole song's about he's lost his love and he's all by himself and
There's something.
Makes you cry.
Eric Carmen.
yeah, but 1 is a number. Now, granted, they're talking about being alone, but if you take it literally, then it means 1 is the loneliest number. Okay, I'm not sure I agree with that. 1 has 2 friends, 0 and 1. But yes, they are talking about being alone, being all by yourself. Anybody need help? I was worried I'd run out of time. So how am I going to do the quiz and the class? I have plenty of time. 46 minutes. Do you believe that?
No.
Okay, thank you. No, we got about 10 minutes. What did I say? When I literally said within 4 minutes, you're going to be freezing.
But it's like a good.
All right, who wants first one? Thank you, Matt, for volunteering. What do you got? Matthew. I am all about shorting people's names. Matthew. Got it? First one? Tell me the first thing to do then. Is it 15 plus 12 or 12 times 3? See what I mean? I'm teaching you order of operations. You know what to do first. 12 times 3 is 36. All right, 36 drop down to 15, and obviously I do. And that would be what? You got your head real quick? 51. All right. How about Bo? You got the answer, or you want to walk me through it?
I have the answer.
What do you got?
2.
2?
2?
Is that really the answer?
Yes.
Let's see. What's the first thing I do, Bo?
You have to do 54 minus 30, which is 24.
Which is 24. Okay. Hold on. Let me catch up.
And then you add 24 plus 26.
Right. Which is 50. He's right. Just so you know, that's a teacher thing I do, and I will question you whether you got the right answer. Don't ever assume that you're wrong. Stick to your guns, right? Which he did, right? If I ask you, what? Is that the right answer? I'm probably doing a teacher thing. I'm just asking you to defend your answer, which you did perfectly. Good job. Yes, absolutely. Do we need to do 2 more, or we got this?
We got this, but I want to do 2
Oh,
more.
did you already get to an answer here? Anybody work ahead?
7.
What'd you get? First one. You get the second one. 7 and Ace. The second one is
51.
51. He said that very confidently, and he is correct. All right. How do we feel about PEMDAS?
Good, easy.
All right. You got 2 minutes to do box 9 all by yourself. This is more like homework. They're not that. They're just, the numbers are large, right? It's not that they give you a whole lot of operations to do at once. Just the numbers are large. Do box 9, please. Anybody need help? What? Sure. Well, I don't know what method I use. I just saw it.
Oh, wait, can I solve it?
No. It's a very nice cube, though. It's very smooth. I like it. And Rubik's Cube. And. Oh, I did that wrong. Sorry.
Why would they ban something that's educational? That's
I'm not sure this is educational. It's fun.
You should have seen our class last
I did see your class.
I didn't
And many of you were good at this.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do it after their work.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one's not loud. This is very soft. Very nice. What am I doing? I don't know what method I'm using. Beginner's method? Oh, I'm a beginner.
It's okay.
Thank you for that. I actually have to teach, but I can finish it. All right, here we go. I said 2 minutes. 2 minutes are up. Lily, first one, upper left. What you get?
Oh, well, I did the divisions first.
Okay, so 30 divided by 5 is
6.
6, and 55 minus 6 is.
49.
Hey, thank you, Lily, but you're a very good ventriloquist. It sounded like your voice was coming from Ace. Right? So good job. I'm always impressed by people that can do that. All right, Jasmine, you got this one.
Oh, yeah, got it right.
All right, well, talk me through it. Tell me what to do first. A little bit louder, please. Okay, so that would be what? Okay, so you can. And 96 divided by 12 is 8. Okay, very good. Caden, this one right here.
So the answer is.
Tell me what to do.
Okay, so what you do is you add 2 plus 5 which is 7, and then you do 7 divided by, and then you do 7 divided by.
Yeah, that's not right.
Otherwise,
I know what you're doing, but I'm saying you can't. You said it backwards.
48 divided by 7 is 12.
One more try.
84 divided by 7
Is
12.
12. Very good. Last one, Jaden. Tell me what to do. What to do first.
The degree
Okay, 88 divided by 11 is 8. Now what?
plus 31,
Which would be 30.
39.
Perfect. Good job. Questions? All right. Pack it up. We're done.
I had a question. Oh yeah. We have more like paper homeworks.
Everyone always asks that, don't they? As soon as I hand out a worksheet, kids are like, can we get another worksheet?
Well, they're fun. And they're easy. Exactly. Thank you, Ace.
All right, e-learners, if you have any questions, send me an email. I will see you guys tomorrow, but don't forget to do your quiz tonight. You'll see the link when I send you the email for your quiz.